breakout deck of last season just got better. That's right, Azorius Mentor is even stronger than it was before thanks to some new cards from murders at Karlov Manor. If you don't already know, this deck is based around bringing back either a giant Haughty Djinn after pitching it into the graveyard with things like Consider, Picklock Prankster, or Otherworldly Gaze. We're going to bring it back with either Recommission or Helping Hand. We also have Monastery Mentor, great recursion target. Every time we cast our cantrip, our graveyard fuelers, we get an army of 1/1 tokens to get bigger every time we cast a non-creature spell. But, like I said, it got better thanks to No More Lies. 1 blue, 1 white, counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. If it's countered this way, exile it. Now, I know we have Make Disappear, but that 1 extra mana really matters. It really slows down your opponent and forces them to play even slower than Make Disappear, and we really needed that. Other than that, we got the Scholar. 3 mana, 2/2, a weird detective. When it enters the battlefield, we have to draw 2 cards, and we discard 2, unless we discard a creature with flying or an instant or a sorcery. We wanted more card draw, we wanted more ways to get things in the graveyard, and we wanted another threat. So this was just what this deck needs. Anyway, stick around for these games. They're pretty freaking crazy, and like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, solid hand here. We got a couple lands, we got interaction, we got the Scholar, we got some cantrips. Start off on this island here. Opponent's going to open up with a Dark Slick Shore. We're going to consider, throw that Mentor into the graveyard, and we got a turn to Mentor. Sleight of Hand. Take another Helping Hand just in case he kills our Mentor. Now we got the No More Lies. Get in here, hold up No More Lies. Looking pretty sweet. This should be a nice and easy match. We draw the Recommission. We're going to play our 4th land. Get in for 14. No sense in playing the Scholar. We're just going to hold up No More Lies. If he kills anything, we'll let it go, bring it back. We'll attack here. Since he doesn't do anything, we're going to consider, buff the team, ditch a land, draw a land anyway, but we already got the opponent down to 9. It's kind of reminding me of a Delver deck. We play early threat and we just protect it. We're going to let that go, and then we're going to get lost in response to the trigger. He still gets to draw a card, but that's fine. He gets some map tokens, but he's pretty much already dead on board. He plays Ledger Shredder. Now we got the No More Lies for that. And he scoops it up. Alright, let's go into game 2. Pretty solid hand here. Got some interaction. We got some things to fill the graveyard. We picked up a Djinn. Opponent's going to play a Sleight of Hand turn 2. It's pretty odd. Might be a mirror match. Sleight of Hand doesn't get played very often. In a turn, we'll Otherworldly Gaze. We got all these cantrips, so we're really just hoping to find a recursion spell. So we're going to dump all of our threats and draw the land because we do need a 3rd land. 3 lands is kind of the sweet spot in this deck. More is not terrible, but you need at least 3 generally. Alright, we play Sleight of Hand. We didn't get our recursion spell, but we do pick up a Sleight of Hand. Opponent's going to play Steam Core Scholar, and it's definitely the mirror match. I'll ditch some lands here. We do draw the No More Lies, which is pretty sweet. Checking out our graveyard for a second. So we can Sleight of Hand, we can Otherworldly Gaze. But we're just going to slam the Djinn and see if he has an answer. Plays one of the Surveil lands. Nice. This definitely could be a decent inclusion in this deck. Split it with the Restless Anchorages, the blue-white tap lands, but he's going to get lost. Our Djinn, which is not terrible if we can find a recursion spell, but our deck doesn't want to cooperate. So we're going to hit this Get Lost, get rid of the Scholar, and just hold up No More Lies. Opponent's going to play a tap land. He'll take some time here. He's got Helping Hand. He's got the mana to pay for this, but I decided to just make him pay the mana. And he takes a second here, but he ends up not paying the mana, which was kind of weird, honestly. Didn't understand that. He has a second Helping Hand. Alright, so he brings back the Scholar anyway. He's going to pitch a Scholar. pump up his scholar with the map tokens that we provided. It's always nice. So the ditch no more lives. And he ditches a Sleight of Hand also. So Scholar got pretty beefy pretty quick. We drew a Get Lost, which is pretty awesome, but we're still really hoping for just a recursion spell. There's only like 7 in the deck and what, 12 cantrips. Yeah, 12 if you count the Picklock Pranksters. I think we would have found one by now. But we're going to take down the Scholar. Still looking at our graveyard in disbelief. Back to our opponent here. He's going to get down on Mentor. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do for it. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. We're going to Otherworldly Gaze. Ditch the Picklock Prankster because I already had one. Didn't see it really helping a whole lot. I guess we could have dug even deeper if I had kept it. He's going to play a Helping Hand, get back the Scholar, get some triggers on his Mentor, pitch another Scholar, pump up his Mentor, and we're in some trouble here. Not looking good. We draw a Djinn, but we know he has the Otawara, so it's just going to get bounced back to our hand, but it's really our only play. I mean, could have picklocked. Hope that we found Helping Hand or Recommission. Alright, opponent's going to get some triggers, things to consider. It'll take a minute, and even worse than Otawara, he has Get Lost. We'll Otherworldly Gaze a response just to see if we can find something, but honestly, we're pretty much dead on board. Even if we found a recursion spell, he gets to bounce it with Otawara, and his board's pretty wide. Not enough to kill us in one shot, but pretty close. Alright, now we're basically dead for sure. I'm gonna take what, 9 here, 9, 10, 11. Alright. Uses map token. The ditch to consider. Play land for the turn. Wow, he did all that and didn't play land for the turn. Alright, we're going down to 6. See what we draw. And we draw a land. Otherworldly Gaze. I was thinking maybe we could get closer with the Picklock Prankster. So we put the Recommission on top, and then we can take that with Picklock Prankster. But then I realized I don't have the mana to play Recommission, so it kind of doesn't matter. And we scoop it up. Alright, let's bounce back in this final match. Let's see what we got here. Starting off with the Otherworldly Gaze. Opponent started off with a Kamano. Gonna ditch this Djinn. We got the Helping Hand to bring it back. We could do this turn 2. And we do. So nice! Another turn 2 threat. This deck is freaking sweet. Toasty! Alright, it goes back to our opponent. He's going to play the new Haste guy. Make it a 2-2. Gets in. I'm going to go down to 17. Well, Otherworldly Gaze, see if we can beef up our Djinn. We don't find a whole lot here, but we're going to keep the Prankster on top, I believe. Yeah, we'll draw it. We got our lands. Ditch the lands, draw the Prankster. So we could play Scholar. We could Picklock, try to beef up our Djinn, or we could just slam a second Djinn. But slam the Djinn because it should be relatively hard for Mono Red to get rid of it. They're either going to have to use 2 burn spells or Witchstalker's Frenzy. We got the Urbrass Forge, which is kind of a problem. Don't necessarily have an out to that. We can balance it with Otawara or we can counter it. But once it's on the field, short of Otawara, it's pretty rough. But we get some blocks here. We don't have to take any damage, so that's good. X16, we get the Otawara. I thought about saving it to bounce the Forge, but all my creatures have pretty big toughnesses on them, so they'll block for a while. I think we can beef up our Djinns and kind of one-shot them, if you will. I'm going to take the No More Lies. Hopefully that'll come in handy, especially with Spell Pierce. Trying to decide if it's worth attacking or if I just play another blocker. It's definitely, either way is probably fine. I just went with attacking for 4. Being at 16 with 2 counter spells, I think it's okay. We let the Phoenix chick come down. He had the mana to pay for it anyway. Having that blocker might not have been such a bad idea because we do take a lot of damage right there. We go to 9. And the creatures from Forge are just going to keep getting bigger. So we can play the Mentor. You don't have any way to trigger it. We're just going to play the Prankster. And again, hold up our counter spells. This time we're going to be a little bit more conservative and just attack with 1 Djinn. Opponent's going to play a land. He's going to go for this Song of Totazan, but luckily we have the Spell Pierce. So, suck it, opponent. He is in for a pretty big attack here. We got a good blocker with the Djinn though, and Picklock Prankster. Probably should have blocked something else other than the Phoenix chick because he can bring it back for 2 mana with a counter. So slight misplay, could have been a little bit more optimal. Alright, we draw the Sleight of Hand. So we're going to try to beef up our Djinn. We get the Consider, and I just decided to go for it. Get another Consider. We hit the Spell Pierce, we can ditch that. That puts him at 7 each, so that's 14, and we got the Recommission. So that's pretty much game.
Victory!
We go in. Good game, Mono Red. Alright guys, those are the games. 4-4 with this deck, so 50% win rate. Not that great on paper, but this deck feels really strong. I think we ran into some variance on the ladder. You didn't see all those games, of course, but No More Lies, I think, really makes a difference. And Steam Core Scholar seems pretty freaking awesome. He should probably be a 4 of. Unless you discard things, you can find your recursion with it, where it's Recommission or Helping Hand, whatever. And of course, Djinn's always an all-star, so is Mentor, and everything else in this deck just really works well together. Spell Pierce, definitely a must. Anyway, love this deck. Hopefully you love this deck as much as last time. It's definitely better than it was before. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.